What's up, everybody? Paul here from the Hoops Crew, and it is time to discuss another couple players who are going to play vital roles in the Cats' chances of winning a premiership in season 2024. Now, we've already done videos as of when this is recorded. We've done videos already on Paddy Dangerfield, our captain, and Tom Stewart, the vice-captain. But now we're going to shift gears a little bit and look at a series of different players, two of them in this video and others in some videos to come before Thursday night, who will play fairly important roles for the Cats as we chase a 2024 flag. So let's begin by looking at Shaun Mannagh, yet to play a final, and Lawson Humphries, also yet to play an AFL final. Now, both of these players have done some pretty awesome things since they joined the Cats. In the case of Lawson Humphries, he debuted in round one. Shaun Mannagh in round one, Lawson Humphries later in the season, and then Shaun Mannagh returned to the starting 23 and has been dominating ever since. Shaun, I think, just needed to go back to the seconds and kind of refine the craft, learn more about the roles and responsibilities required of him at that senior level, and he's come back and really been solid since. In fact, if you look at some of his numbers, he's been exceptional. And we are going to start to look at those as well as we go here to discuss what they kind of tell us and what we can kind of expect going into the final series, because things always kick up a gear. So, I hate when this happens. There we go. All right, let's talk about both players. Now, we're, of course, not comparing them, but it was the easiest way for me to get both players up on the screen at the same time. So we've got Shaun Mannagh down the left here. We've got Lawson Humphries down the right, and they do play totally different roles for the Cats. So let's not compare them to one another, but discuss what they can bring going into a final series. Fantasy points don't matter. Rating points don't matter. So let's ignore both of those. The goal output for Shaun Mannagh has been solid, and it's been increasing in the last few weeks. That average has been ticking upwards week after week after week as he is finding himself in the perfect positions as a small forward, but also that link in the chain to not only kick goals, but set up a whole bunch of score involvements and goal assists. It's been really, really good to see. And I don't expect him to actually go backwards here. I would expect this 1.1 goal a game to remain the case. Players' numbers are always shaved a little bit when it comes to finals. It's so much more contested. There's so many more one-on-one moments, and so you tend to find yourself breaking even a bit more. But I don't think he's going to dip, because honestly, the last 5 or 6 weeks, he's probably been trending at closer to 2 goals a game. It was just those earlier games in the piece that pulled his average down as he tried to find his way a little bit. He's now settled. Nothing to see or worry about here. The disposal count is kind of much the same when it comes to Shaun Mannagh. He's been trending upwards when it comes to that one as well, as that link in the chain. I spoke about not just the goals, but the goal assists and the score involvements. Shaun Mannagh has been more and more involved in that aspect of the game since his return later in the season, and I expect the 15.7, 16 disposals a game, I expect that to stick as well. And if he's doing that, that's a really great sign. The marking game, that's not his game. He's better around feet, and that's kind of what's showing here with his tackle numbers, clearance numbers, and kicks. He's registered as a... Do they actually classify him specifically here with it? No, but they've got their benchmarking. It is benchmarked across different positions, which kind of makes it a little bit harder to kind of gauge here, because I don't know how they want to list him. But he's a small forward, I think, in the eyes of the AFL here. And his tackle numbers are great. He brings a lot of great forward 50 tackling pressure. His clearance numbers have been good too. And whether that is as a small forward in the forward line, or even these occasional cameos in the midfield or through the guts, not necessarily for the centre bounce, but other clearances around the ground, that 2.8 is a great figure for a player playing in the role that he does. Same with the kicking figure, 11.2. When you're a small forward, if you're getting your hands on the ball 15.7 times a game and you're getting 11.2 kicks, you're getting plenty of shots on goal, you're getting plenty of goal assists, and things are looking really, really good for your team. So I want to see more of that. I hope that continues. The handball game, that's about average, but that's fine. Nothing to see here as well. When it comes to Lawson Humphries, who's broken onto the scene, exploded onto the scene late. He's everybody's favourite player these days. He's doing some extraordinary things. We love Lawson Humphries here at the Hoops Crew. And as a halfback flankman / back pocket, he's been great as well. Incredibly reliable. I'm curious to see how things look with the Jed Buse sort of movements going into the final series, and the threats that we're going to face from a Willie Rioli, from a Tom Papley, from a Charlie Cameron, those sorts of high quality small crumbing forwards. Because I firmly believe Jed needs to be in the team, but I also don't think Lawson should be missing out. He's been doing some great stuff. His pressure has been awesome. He's been a great inset player straight away. He's fit perfectly into the Geelong structure. He's taken his time to learn what it's all about, to refine the craft, continue to prove his consistency through the VFL. He stepped into the AFL team and he's continued to do that. It's been great. I'm loving it, and I hope that it continues. There's not a huge amount necessary to say here. The marking that inset play has been the real key to Lawson over the course of this season, and I want to see it continue. What I want to hone in on here, I mean, and it's fantasy points. Now, let's not lose sight of the fact that it's built around a meta game. But if we want to focus on that, like, they still are emblematic of the output of a player. And so if we want to talk about now, we can kind of scrub round 24 from the mix because Lawson was subbed or benched, at halftime because of potential injury. But from there, the numbers have looked good for both players, really. Lawson, took a little bit of a while to settle in. Shaun Mannagh continued to kind of deliver really consistently throughout, but both players getting their hands on the ball plenty, having an input every single game. They have been consistent. And that's the thing that we're looking for in finals. You're looking for players who are consistent, who are reliable, who you know exactly who you're going to get from. And they are delivering in that regard. Continuing on from there, these guys just, they've been so integral to the Cats throughout this season. I'm really shocked that they have come in and had the influence that they've had so quickly. More Stephen Wells brilliance on show here with the outputs of both Shaun Mannagh and Lawson Humphries. But what can we expect from them as 2024 finals competitors? Well, I spoke about consistency a moment ago, and because they've demonstrated that all season, I don't see that going anywhere now. They are confident already. They know the roles that they need to play, and they are executing upon those roles game in, game out. Now, of course, the intensity does go up a few notches. A game against Port is not going to be easy, let alone any other opponents that we play down the line. It's going to be a real challenge, and I do totally get that. But I am of the firm belief that they're going to deliver. And I don't know, at this point, we should all be expecting a brilliant finals campaign from the both of them. Hopefully, it goes all the way. Hopefully, there's a medal dangling around their neck at the end of the final series. Two of them, in fact, in the case of one of these blokes. Hopefully, there's a Norm Smith in there for one of them. But right now, they are doing some great things. They're going to get some extra attention. They've both been, I think, attracting it from opponents more recently. But they come in good form. They're fit. Lawson Humphries, we believe that injury is nothing to see here and will be fine. And so hopefully they go well in the finals. Cats fans, let me know what you think in the comments. Hit us up on the Hoops Crew on socials, myself at Paul James Games. Visit our Patreon where you can subscribe for 7 days for free, get exclusive content, get early access content. And if the cost of $5 or $6 for a month, you can subscribe for longer and continue to get that delivered to your inbox. Beyond that, as always, remain Geelong strong. Stay tuned for another video looking at a few new players soon, and I'll see you later.